Alright YouTube, what's going on? This is the Yu-Gi Collector here, 6741. Now you saw me battle the first tower of the first 5 characters in the original Yu-Gi-Oh series with the Battlin'Boxing deck. So here's the deck profile of my deck. It's 41 main deck, 15 extra deck, and right now I only have 2 cards sided for the side deck, but in generally I do run 15. I just didn't implement all those cards into the game. So first off, I have 2 Battlin'Boxer counter punches. They pretty much are like the honest of the deck, but it can work in 2 different ways. You can either drop the card from your hand to remove it from play, or remove the card from your graveyard to give one boxer an additional 1,000 attack during the damage step of that turn. So it comes in handy when you're in a crunch, and it works really well with Blaster, the E-Dragon. It works really good with him because you get to drop him and the counter punch to blow up a card, and then you get to remove counter punch from the graveyard to do an additional 1,000. So you're getting a +2 with that effect. Next, we have the Battlin'Boxer Glass Jaw. Now we normally just use him just for a quick 2,000, or we use him to throw in the graveyard with Headgear's effect to plus and get a card back from our graveyard, which would be another Headgear, or we'd use to get Spar or Switch Hitter. Now, Headgear is pretty much the Foolish Burial of the deck. He will allow you to drop any boxer that's from the main deck into the graveyard. So if you drop Glassjaw into the graveyard, he clearly states that he has an effect that will allow you to get back any Battlin'Boxer except himself from the graveyard back to your hand. So you pretty much recycle a card for free. And then Headgear's secondary effect is once a turn, he cannot be destroyed while he's in face-up attack position, so he can take 1 hit, which is good. Second is the Spar. The Spar is pretty much a free summon when you have him in your hand and you possess another boxer on the field. But what I really like is the small text that they say you can special summon this card from your hand. If you do, you cannot conduct your battle phase for the rest of the turn. Now, if it just said you couldn't conduct your battle phase, I would understand that. But because it says you cannot conduct it for the rest of the turn, so meaning main phase 2, if you did all your attacking and you go to main phase 2 and you play this card, they will allow you to still special summon him. So I say that is a fantastic effect with the Spar. Most people don't really use him. I use 1. I tried 2, but it kind of got slow. Next is the Switch Hitter. The Switch Hitter is pretty much a monster reborn for any boxer in the graveyard, but he comes at a cost, saying that you cannot special summon nothing but Battlin'Boxers for that turn he's summoned. So if you're going to summon anything other than boxers, you want to get him off. You want to get off those other cards before you summon him. And I run 3 of those. Next is the Blaster, Dragon Ruler of the Infernals. When he was at 3, he was broken. So now he's down to 1. The game will allow you to still run 3, but I'm going off the traditional list right now of the current ban list. So I'm only using 1 to not be unfair, because his effect is just way too powerful. To drop him in a fire monster, since all my boxers are fire, it's perfect. To blow up a card and then special summon him later, which is great. Next is one of my tech cards, is Command Knight. She comes in very handy by giving any of my warriors an additional 400 attack, all of my warriors, and then she can't be chosen as an attack target, which is fantastic. Sadly to say, the Blue Flame Swordsman was not in this game, because I do run him. I run 1 in main deck and I side deck the other one. So I pretty much put in 3 Headgears because I only really main 2 in my real deck. Next is my one and only tuner, Rose Warrior of Revenge. I do synchro with this deck. I have 3 synchros, but this card is really, really good because she's a straight generic level 4 synchro, and it is fantastic. She's searchable with Rhoda. So now we get on to the spells. Boxing Fighting Spirit is pretty much the premature burial of the deck, but it doesn't act as an equip. You just drop a card from your deck, top of your deck, to special summon any boxer from the graveyard and face-up defense. You can only play 1 of those per turn. Then you have your Book of Moon, your Dark Hole, Forbidden Lance to protect Yoke from other cards like D-Prison, Compose, stuff like that, or something that will force you to use a material when you really don't want to. Forbidden Lance is a great card. I run 2 of those. Gold Sarcophagus to search, mostly for Blaster or anything else. Mind Control, double MST, and double Night Beam. Night Beam comes in very handy because I use it with another combo. I do one rank up Magic Barion's Force because I do run Chaos Exceeds in this deck. Rhoda, Warrior coming back to life. Black Horn of Heaven, very good card. One of my favorite cards that I love to stop Synchros and Exceeds and inherit special summons for the Toons that you just saw in the last match with Pegasus when he was special summoning Toon Summon Skull and the Toon Blue Eyes Dragon, and Blackhorn kills them, so that's good. Bottomless Trap Hole, Chain Whirlwind, fantastic card. This gives you a +2, which I really like because you combine it with Blaster to blow up a card, then you chain Whirlwind to blow up 2 more cards, or you do it with Night Beam or MST, you blow up 1 card and then you chain with Whirlwind to get 2 more cards. Fantastic card, one of the best trap cards that I think for this game. Compulse, you have your D-Prisons, because I don't like Sakuretsu. D-Prison I think is better. Mirror Force staple. Needle Ceiling, I like it because it's a secondary Torrential Tribute, only when there's 4 or more monsters on the field, and you can wait to chain it, and it only destroys the face-ups, but if you have Yoke on the field, you're going to drop a material and then blow up all the rest of the face-up monsters, or if your cards are face down, only kill their face-ups. Fantastic card. Safe Zone. Very, very good card because it can be used in 2 different ways. You can protect your own monster, or if they're trying to MST or destroy that card, you can chain it, give that equipped to another card, and let that card get destroyed, which I like. 7 tools, since they don't have wiretap in the game, which is okay. Solemn Warning, staple, even though he's at 1. And then Torrential Tribute, because it's at 1, but Needle Ceiling is my second. So that is the main deck of my Battlin'Boxing deck for this game. Now, extra deck, I do run 3 Synchros. I run Black Rose Dragon. For my level 7 is going to be Counter Punch and Rose Warrior Revenge, or I'll just play Mind Control and steal an opponent's monster and Synchro into it and blow up the field. Crimson Blader is the lockdown deck, so they can't play big monsters, which I really like. And he's a generic level 8 Synchro, 28 attacker, fantastic. Red Dragon Archfiend, I just run him because he's a 3k beater, and if I cannot hit with my other cards, they'll get destroyed. But if you combine it with Yoke, it's fantastic because then he'll plus 800 during the end of the turn, and he can protect himself and he can protect himself or another boxer from destruction by dropping a material. But then he gains 800 attack permanently unless he's either booked or bounced back to the deck. And he'll become 100 attack points if he drops all of his materials. So I run 3 of those. I was running Blade Armor Ninja, but then I changed it to Comics Hero King Arthur because I think it's a little better. Despite it's only hitting once instead of twice, but he's 24 hit, and he has an effect where if he's to be destroyed by battle, you drop a material, he'll gain 500 attack points, and then your opponent gets burned for 500 life, which I think is great. Then I threw in the Barion's version and tried a Chaos version of him, the Hero Arthur, the Legend Arthur, which I think is great. So he can't be destroyed by battle once turn. With the original material in the stack, he gets that following effect of removing that monster from play by dropping a material and then burning your opponent for excess damage of that monster's attack points. So if I hit a Blue Eyes White Dragon as an example, and I'm going to survive that attack, he's going to lose an automatic 3,000 with that effect. I think that's great. Daigusto Emerald is just the Pot of Avarice for the deck because the card is banned. So he's just a recycler because I don't run any normal monsters. Gaga Cowboy is just for a quick 800 a burn just to win the game. Star Cestus is for the Barion's version, so I can go into 3 monsters, so I can do the Barion version for the Chaos 105. Utopia standard because I'm blocking attacks, but I'm also running the Chaos version of him, and then the Chaos version of the 105 Comet Cestus. Him and Utopia Ray V are pretty much the exact same monster, except he is a boxer and then he is not. So they both have the same effect. You blow up one monster in your opponent's field with their effect, with the original in the XE material stack, and then your opponent loses life equal to that monster's attack strength, and they can still attack. So it's sort of like number 61 Volcanosaurus, but he can't attack directly. These two can. So that's what I like about them. So we go down to the side deck, which is just these two, which is Shadow Imprisoning Mirror and Dark Bride. I normally do Shadow and Light Imprisoning Mirror, and I like siding those because my entire deck is mostly fire, minus a few Light and Dark Xyzs and Synchros. So Shadow Imprisoning Mirror shuts down Dark Worlds, Evil Swarm, all those other big decks, and then the Light Imprisoning Mirror shuts down Constellars, Light Sworn, and all the other light decks. So that is the deck profile of my Battlin'Boxer deck. I know this took a little bit, but I wanted to sit back and explain how and why I use these cards. And maybe this will be an idea if you want to run the deck, because I think the deck is great. And I know the AI in this game is not that smart, but I pretty much run this exact same deck in tournaments and in casual play. And maybe at a tournament, if you want to see me and play against my deck, I'll be happy to play you. And just ask if you want to play. So this is the Yu-Gi Collector 6741. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. And we're going to climb the second tower. And the deck I'm going to use is X-Sabers. So please stay tuned.